ordained, not revealed, but man-made. Shouldn't it be obvious to everyone in this room that let's not quarrel about how long the human species has been around, fully evolved. Some tens of thousands of years are generally agreed, perhaps longer. That God should have watched this species suffering, dying in childbirth, life expectancy of about 20 years, swept with plague, famine, misery, shame, mystery, dying in Brazil, dying in China, dying in Australia, countries not known to any of the writers of these testaments. Their animals not even known by it. And to have decided only a few thousand years ago, maybe it's time to intervene. Have a son of mine torn to shreds in a remote part of Bronze Age Palestine. Let the Chinese wait a few thousand years to find out that that's what happened. That should make them love each other. It's not to be believed. No serious person can believe it. Okay? Now, one way that you can prove it's not just man-made, but masculine-made, male-made, is the following. It's always, in every case, devoted to the subjugation of women. The Orthodox Jew has to begin the daily prayer. Thank God for not making me a woman or a goy. That's how much they think of women. Somebody has to buy retail, as was once said of the Goyish. Everybody knows what Islam says and mandates for women. Everybody knows also what St. Paul said about women. Everybody knows, even those who, probably there's some here who think maybe I have a Buddhist option here, has to notice that even Buddha is born from a slit in his mother's side. Anything but the filth and disgust of having to contemplate the female reproductive system. What could be more obviously man-made than this, and made in a barbaric period, even of the history of the male sex? It's plain as could be. The terror of menstrual blood, for example, the horror of it, the feeling of uncleanliness that attaches to everything female, that's before you start with every other manifestation of sexuality. Filthy, guilt-ridden, masochistic, horrible. Our emancipation from this is the condition of our emancipation under, it seems to me, any terms at all. Time is short for us to find this out.
Well, that gets to the notion that somehow, if you abolish religion, which has been part of every human society since human society has been recorded, these dark impulses are somehow going to vanish. If torturers, killers, sadists, and tyrants don't wrap themselves in the cloak of religion, they'll wrap themselves in the cloak of something else. Fascism, communism, I mean, these are, and I think as you correctly pointed out, bear many similarities to the kinds of ideological forms that we see within repressive religious institutions. The problem is not religion. The problem is the capacity we all have for evil, the capacity we all have for atrocity. And as long as we externalize evil, and that's of course what religious fundamentalists do, we can't guard against the ability and the seductiveness that all of us carry within ourselves. Great writers like Primo Levi struggled with this for most of their lives. You know when you're in a war zone that the line between the victim and the victimizer is always razor thin, and people will always find religious, ideological belief systems to justify evil. The problem is not religion, the problem is in the human heart.
Christopher Hitchens, you praise in your book the